It is summer, and for months the massive galleons of Arctic ice have been making their way down the coast of Labrador and past our island shores. To most of us who live here in Newfoundland, the icebergs are not an uncommon sight at this time of year. They make the summer greens greener and the ocean's blue bluer. They decorate our shores like jewels. We fish beside them just as we fish among the playful whales who come inshore to celebrate the warmer months and feed on the capelin that are spawning at this time of year. We live in a land of wooded hills and green sloping pastures. Towering cliffs stand like sentinels above massive sculptured crags, and the waters of the Atlantic beat out their eternally changing moods on the rocky shores below. These breathless panoramas and never-ending seascapes are a part of our everyday lives. For hundreds of years, we have accepted them as gifts of our heritage, a heritage that has left us a beautiful land, a simple and distinct way of life, but most of all, it has left us the wind and the sea. This is Cape Race, part of the southernmost tip of Newfoundland, and a landmark to thousands of seafaring men in the North Atlantic and the world over. Day and night, year after year, the lighthouse on this cape winks its constant eye towards the sea. High in the lighthouse tower, the mammoth, multifaceted lenses revolve within their cage of glass, concentrating a single beam of light toward the horizon, warning ships away from danger and guiding them to safer shores. People of Newfoundland and Labrador, to the many sailors and fishermen who live here, beacons like this one play an essential part in their way of life. A life as devoted to the sea as the lighthouse itself. A great deal has changed since our forefathers began to harvest these waters hundreds of years ago. And yet we still go out in the boats, be they big ones or small, and we still make our living from the sea. For most of us who fish inshore in trap boats such as this one, the challenge of the sea is as real as it must have been to our grandfathers and to their grandfathers before them. They were the men who first settled in the many sheltered coves and inlets that are scattered along the coastline of our province. And it was from their roots that outports like this one have grown, snuggled in a quiet harbor, easily accessible to, but protected from, the fierce temperament of the open sea. Throughout Newfoundland, old architecture is mingled with new, and the texture of wind-worn wood is a constant contrast to the smooth, bright paint of our modern homes. Historically, we have adapted our settlements to the landscape around us. Our homes can be found hidden in the heart of a cavernous fjord, placed at random on a rocky hill, or dwarfed by the surrounding cliffs of a nearby mountain peak. But no matter where they are, you rarely will find a home that is far from the sea or from the boats that take us to the fishing grounds. Today, as in the past, many of us build our sturdy houses ourselves, often using wood we have cut from the slopes nearby. Looking around a Newfoundland outport, one finds evidence everywhere of the reason for the existence of our community. Men can be seen working on their boats or repairing their gear. Nets are set out to dry, and lobster pots, floats, and dories are pulled up on the shore or stored on the wharves. Even when our day has ended, the sea stays with us. The animals that we keep graze by the water, and our children play there. Our churches are the focal points of our communities. Most of them are built high on a hill overlooking the sea. Beautiful in their dignity and simplicity, our houses of worship differ greatly from one settlement to another. It is said a fisherman, while still far out at sea, can recognize his own settlement by the distinctive architecture of its church. The creative spirit is never idle in the outports, and even in our leisure hours, our minds are never far from the sea. This is a long liner under construction. It is owned by two fishermen who, like many others in our province, have decided to build a boat for themselves in their spare time. They have taken on every phase of the work themselves, from the milling, planing, and sanding of the lumber to the actual construction of the craft itself. The wide variety of skills needed for these endeavors has been passed down from father to son for hundreds of years. When a man can speed across the water in a craft he has built with his own two hands, he experiences a thrill equal only to the feeling of pride and accomplishment he has earned in having completed a masterful piece of work. Name, Labrador, the northernmost settlement in the province of Newfoundland. It is 4 o'clock in the morning on a warm summer day, and the sun is already rising. Soon, the fishermen of this small, mainly Eskimo community will be putting out to sea. Their work day has already begun. Due east of here, there is nothing but open sea. To the north is the subarctic and the spectacular mountainous wilderness of the northern Labrador coast. Rising 2,000 feet or more out of a glass smooth sea, these ragged, wind-torn crags flank a range of peaks that are as overpowering and awe-inspiring as any mountain landscape to be found anywhere in the world. Here, in the northernmost reaches of our province, is a land rarely seen by man. Almost totally unexploited, unexplored, and undisturbed. It is a land whose cold and foreboding beauty could remain untouched for the rest of time. Against this background of strange stone shapes and distant mountain peaks, the people of northern Labrador live their lives in much the same way as people anywhere on the coast of Newfoundland. They are fishermen in the finest tradition. Their communities quite clearly reflect their close reliance on the sea for their livelihood. Even their most vital link with the outside world comes from the sea. As is the case with many Newfoundland outports, the provisions and necessities that cannot be fished, hunted, or fabricated here must be brought in by coastal steamer. Sometimes even their boats are delivered in this manner. The only alternative in transportation is, of course, the seaplane. During the summer months, especially, the activities on the wharves and along the shores of these settlements are much the same as the activities in all fishing communities. Men mending their equipment or repairing their boats, children playing on the docks, and fishermen guiding their crafts into the open sea. These are sights to be seen anywhere along the long and varied coasts of our vast province. Fishermen everywhere share a life of hard work, long hours, and constant struggle with the elements. They share a pride in their skills and an undying love for the freedom of their way of life. No matter what their culture or tradition, this bond, stemming from a common experience, is felt by fishermen all over our province, from northern Labrador to the southernmost tip of the island of Newfoundland. It is a bond between men who every day must face the ever-present and often perilous challenge of a moody and uncompromising sea. Throughout our history, there have been many men who have taken up this challenge, but not all of them have met with success. Our folk tales and legends are full of the names of brave men whose strength and skill was no match for the sudden, unaccountable fury of these waters. There are few monuments to the many ships that the elements have dashed upon our jagged shores. The graveyards for these lost vessels have their own markers, their own headstones of twisted steel, rusted iron, and rotting wood. Despite the many stories of storms and shipwrecks that abound in our province, the dramatic and tragic side of nature does not play an overwhelming part in the lives of those who live here. The sea has many faces, and the one most familiar to us is that of a constant and peaceful provider, a source of sustenance and livelihood, of inspiration and beauty. We live among the colors, textures, and shapes that only nature could create, with her vast store of time, her wind, her rain, and the waves. Even our man-made structures, touched by time and the sea, become part of the ageless landscape around us. Often it seems as if the dreams of nature herself can be seen in these waters as they beckon like a mad artist's palette shimmering in the sunlight. For thousands and thousands of years, these waves have washed against the rocks on this coastline, chiseling and carving them into a myriad of different sizes and configurations. No sculptor has ever lived who could claim the variety and imagination found in the stone formations that abound along this coast. Sightseers marvel at the strange shapes and contours of these mammoth rocks, while scientists come from all over the world to study the rich array of rare and unusual geological formations that can be found here. Perhaps the most impressive works of the sculptor sea are the lofty crags and deep hidden fjords of the Newfoundland South Shore. Here, reminiscent of the mountainous coastline of northern Labrador, the perpendicular cliffs rise headily into the sky as far below, waves lap harmlessly at the foot of these colossal fortress walls of granite. A trip along this southern coast is a voyage into a haunting wonderland of peace and mystery. On one side, the sheer slopes of solid stone loom far above the largest ships, while on the other, placid waters shimmer far into the seemingly endless reaches of the North Atlantic. Apart from the soft, rhythmic coughs of passing fishing boats, the only sound to be heard are the sounds of the sea, the waves nursing the shoreline, the currents of wind racing each other through great crevices of rock, the birds calling out as they circle in search of food, and the distant murmur of the long, white cascades of fresh water as they plummet from great heights into the ocean below. Sailing past this eternal setting, beneath these ageless towering cliffs, a man begins to feel a part of this indomitable landscape. It is a rare feeling, an experience that few men can ever forget. Most of us who live on the shores of Newfoundland know and understand this feeling. We live by the sea, and it is a constant reminder of our place in the endless scheme of nature and time. And yet, there is no describing our feelings about this landscape. The emotions aroused by these sights are the private, individual treasures of those who have felt the overpowering awe of the coastline and the hypnotic lure of the sea. It is a feeling that we all share, and it makes us very grateful for the rich life we lead on the shores of this beautiful land.